PC Store Alert 29 and welcome to my channel. And just I think yesterday was Thursday. I came home from work and watched the first episode of Peacemaker, watched the half of it, then watched it at work on my break. So Peacemaker basically takes place right after Suicide Squad because John Cena, aka Peacemaker, literally quotes saying on um previously on the Suicide Squad or the Suicide Squad, saying that okay, this is what happened. We go on a mission and I killed Rick Flag. Bloodshot shot me, and then we go straight to the end credit scene where he's in the hospital, but this time he's awake, and then he's talking to like a janitor saying like, "Bruh, the doctor said I can go leave. Do I go back to jail or do I not go back to jail? Do I go home?" And the janitor's like, "I don't know, bro. Like we had that one time when we smoked a doobie, but now I don't really hang out with you. Why do you even care?" And so he makes the decision to go home, basically in a cab. Miranda Waller has one of her spies as he's leaving, saying he's leaving, and then that's when the big guy, the tech guy that says there's a kaiju in this movie shows up, and that blonde girl that shows up in there giving the rest of the team directions. Um, there's a new girl in there. There's a big black girl and her partner that have one scene episode talking about whether she's needed for this team basically that they're setting up, and then there's other team leader that shows up at Peacemaker's house. Eventually, they all end up at Peacemaker's house, but Peacemaker ends up at his house, and then after he ends up at his house, those people show up, especially the kaiju and the blonde girl, and the new big black girl in there, and they all say we're gonna meet up at this restaurant. So they eventually meet at that restaurant, but before that, John Cena, as Peacemaker goes to his dad's house to tell him like, hey, you still didn't shut off my phone. My phone is still, I'm still paying for my phone basically, and also to say hello to his dad. And before the dad opens the door, he gets a conversation with this old guy. He's like, you're that Peacemaker dude, right? He's like, yeah. You're that super villain, right? No, I'm a superhero. Like one of those superheroes. No, you're a super villain. And they had some. You have to watch the episode. It's very funny. They had some words back and forth, and John Cena is very good at doing words back and forth, as he does with like any other movie he's in or any other thing that you see him on screen, even when his wrestling career. So. He goes inside his dad's house and check up on his dad, tell him that, oh, you're still paying for my phone, blah, blah, blah. And then, after all that, he goes checks on his bird, Eagle-Eye. Yeah, he's a pet bird named Eagle-Eye. And you saw from the trailers, if you've seen the trailers, the Eagle-Eye hugs him, and he's like, get my phone, Dad, I don't want to miss this moment. And then, that was a funny moment, because an eagle normally doesn't hug people. So that's very funny. And the Eagle-Eye is like, acts like a dog. So when you see this episode, the eagle acts more like a dog than the actual eagle, and I'll tell you reasons why. Because he's like a pet. To him, he's a pet and a sidekick. And then also the way he does, like he hugged him, and like he hugs him, and he sticks his head outside the window at one point in the show when they're driving through the city, and the different stuff like that. He retrieves a weasel for Peacemaker at some point, so he's like a dog. But anyways, then they go to his inside They go back inside his dad's house. They talk about his mission from Suicide Squad, and then they talked about how Bloodshot was basically just like him, except he was afraid of rats. And then they thought that was acne scars, but actually those are bites from ants, from bites from rats biting him. Since his dad put him in a cage with man-eating rats, and they had a good laugh about that. And they also talk about rat catcher to control rats and all that stuff. So he goes to the restaurant, full on attire. Oh yeah, before they go to the restaurant, he gets a new helmet because he give his helmet to the cab driver because he didn't have no money. So he has his wide ranges of different helmets that do different things. Like one sees X-ray vision, one has laser vision, I guess. The one we see eventually, this one has some type of ability. I didn't get to it. Um, so he goes to the restaurant dressed up in a full attire, and everyone makes fun of him because he's dressed up in the same costume that you see in the Suicide Squad. And talk about you have an eagle. Everyone's like, you have an eagle in the back of the car. Yeah, he's my pet bird, Eagle, and then my sidekick. And like you have a daughter named Daughterly, and you have there are different jokes from the guy who said kaiju, but basically from there, the big girl and the big black girl, and Peacemaker have a conversation um, about small talk basically, and then he goes to the bar. He follows that blonde girl from the movie to the bar, and then she's she kicks ass because dude's trying to hit on her, and she knows how to defend her own because she's the one she just wants to sit there and drink a beer, and then Peacemaker comes and bothers her, and then Peacemaker falls in love with her, and he's like, look, I'm just here to have maybe a beer, maybe just have physical contact with somebody because I've been in prison. So he wants that. So he eventually gets physical contact with someone, meaning you know what, and then the mission was to find a monster. He even to find the monster because he had sexual relations with a monster, and then that's when the helmet comes in. The helmet comes in because of the fact that the helmet had this sonic power, and it was pretty badass. It blew up her and the parking lot, and then that's when Eagle gives him a ferret to eat, and then he's like, "Thank you, Eagle," and then that's when the episode ends. Pretty much, that's the first episode. Now, I'm not gonna do too much of these episodes. I might. The same thing with Boba Fett, but I'm not sure. But tomorrow, I might give you a vlog, and then also give you a review of Scream, and the vlog is about Scream as well. Scream 5, or what I like to call, or most people are calling it 5 Cream. So you might get that. If you like this, put a like, buy it, hit the notification bell, subscribe, and I'm out. I'll see you guys later, or maybe see you guys next time with the Peacemaker, or the vlog, or the review I'm doing for Scream, because I'm a big Scream fan. So peace out.